AMD has just made a bold claim that is sending shockwaves across the gaming and esports community, because according to their latest presentation, not one, not two, but three of their brand new X3D processors are capable of achieving the impossible, hitting 1000 FPS in esports titles, and the so-called 1000 FPS Club is officially made up of the Ryzen 9800X3D, the Ryzen 9800X3D, and the mobile Ryzen 99955HX3D, all powered by AMD's revolutionary 3D V-Cache technology that stacks extra, cached directly on top of the CPU die to massively boost performance in gaming workloads. And what makes this announcement even more exciting is that AMD is not just talking about theoretical numbers. They provided evidence showing that these CPUs can cross the 4-digit FPS barrier in 6 of the most popular competitive titles in the world, including Counter-Strike 2, League of Legends, Valorant, PUBG, Naraka Bladepoint, and the upcoming Marvel rivals, all tested at 1080p resolution to highlight raw CPU muscle rather than GPU bottlenecks. This is huge because for years gamers have debated whether we'd ever see the day when CPUs and GPUs could push competitive titles into true quadruple-digit frame rates. And now AMD is saying that day has arrived, though not without some very specific hardware requirements, because the company admits that in order to break past 1000 FPS, you need to pair these processors with the fastest graphics cards on the planet, namely NVIDIA's RTX 5080 or the China-exclusive RTX 5090D, which in combination with Ryzen's 3D V-Cache design can unleash performance levels that sound almost absurd on paper. Yet here we are. Funny enough, AMD's own Radeon RX 97XT could only achieve 1000 FPS in Valorant and League of Legends, falling short in the other titles, which is telling because while AMD is flexing its CPU dominance, it quietly admits that NVIDIA still holds the upper hand when it comes to absolute GPU horsepower, at least for now. But regardless of GPU debates, the sheer fact that AMD can push CPUs to feed this many frames proves just how powerful Zen 5 architecture with 3D V-Cache really is, and why many esports pros and enthusiasts consider AMD's X3D lineup the best gaming CPUs money can buy today. Now, let's dive into the details of AMD's testing, because they use extremely fast 6,000 metric tons per second CL30 DDR5 RAM, with Windows 11 configured for maximum performance by enabling smart access memory while disabling virtualization, all in an effort to squeeze every last frame out of the system. And while AMD didn't disclose what cooler was used for these benchmarks, they did note that as long as you can keep these CPUs from thermal throttling, you too could theoretically enjoy the same breathtaking performance. Though let's be real, most people will never see 1000 FPS in action because no consumer display today can refresh that fast. The fastest gaming monitors currently top out at around 720 Hz, and even those require OLED panels running in a special dual mode at a reduced 720p resolution. So while AMD's 1000 FPS Club is partly a marketing flex, it's also a proof of concept, showing just how far the company's gaming technology has come, and more importantly, hinting at what the future of esports performance could look like once display technology eventually catches up. Still, this achievement should not be underestimated, because in esports, every millisecond counts, and while hitting 1000 FPS might sound excessive today, the reality is that pushing CPU and GPU performance this high reduces latency, improves consistency, and creates headroom for future displays that will one day support higher refresh rates. AMD's bold move here also highlights a growing strategy. They are not just competing with Intel and NVIDIA. They're setting the narrative, telling gamers that if you want the ultimate competitive edge, you need to join the 1000 FPS Club. And even if your current monitor can't show it, you'll know your system is capable of levels of smoothness that your competition may not be able to match. Interestingly, one CPU missing from AMD's 1000 FPS slide is the Ryzen 9900X3D, and reports suggest this is because it lags behind by about 6% in gaming compared to the 9950X3D, which was just enough to keep it from hitting the magic 4-digit number, and AMD clearly wanted only its absolute elite chips to carry the 1000 FPS Club badge. That exclusivity makes this announcement even more powerful, because it's not just about raw numbers. It's about prestige, branding, and positioning AMD's X3D CPUs as a must-have for competitive gamers who demand the absolute best. And if you think this is just hype, look back at history. Because AMD's 3D V-Cache technology has consistently proven itself in real-world benchmarks, outperforming Intel's top gaming CPUs time and again. And now with Zen 5, they're taken to a new level, proving that cache stacking is not just a gimmick, it's a legitimate breakthrough in CPU architecture. Of course, the irony here is that while AMD is bragging about 1000 FPS, we don't yet have monitors that can take full advantage of it. But that's exactly how technological revolutions happen. The hardware arrives first, pushing boundaries, and then the ecosystem slowly catches up. So while you might not be able to see all 1000 frames today, you'll definitely feel the reduced latency and frame pacing benefits. And one day, when 1000 Hz monitors are real, you'll already be ready. In short, AMD has drawn a line in the sand with its Ryzen 9800X3D, Ryzen 9950X3D, and Ryzen 9955HX3D, creating an elite 1000 FPS Club that not only proves their gaming dominance, but also sets the stage for the next era of esports performance. And whether you see this as a flex, a marketing stunt, or a genuine leap forward, one thing is undeniable. The Red Team has just set a new bar for what gaming CPUs can achieve, and the entire industry is now on notice. So keep your eyes on AMD, because the future of gaming just got a whole lot faster, and we'll be covering every step of this journey right here on TechVerse.